All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the one and only game tonight here in Boston, Massachusetts, as the Boston Yachts get ready to do battle against the Toronto Royals. Both teams enter this evening's contest 1-1. Toronto trailing Montreal in the Canadian division, and Boston tied atop with Detroit, Minnesota, and New York as the American division very well packed at the top there. So here we go. We are off and ready to go as Toronto will win the opening faceoff and walk into the zone. Backlov goes to the corner, loses it to Olsen. Olsen to Jeremiah. Jeremiah shot, knocked down. It is not Benny Sobel in net. It is Ronnie Abedisiani for the Boston Yachts. In net for Toronto will be Zigmars Belotis. Jackson King now across the line for Boston. Loses the puck in front. Anderson tries to go wide on Belotis, and it is knocked away. Johansson now up with it for Toronto. We'll go to Alexanderson. Olsen, had an opportunity up the slot. Just couldn't get the shot away. It'll be Stevens now for Boston. Stevens sent backwards. Cron enters the zone. Hit by Jeremiah. Victor Kawaguchi will now take it to Johansson. Over to Olsen. Olsen pressed to the boards there. Johansson will come in and dig it free. Johansson back on it. Gives it to Kawaguchi. Up to Olsen. Olsen will retreat. Go across ice to Johansson. Jeremiah here now. Extended to the zone. Picked off by King. Kawaguchi on it. Kawaguchi into the slot. And it's knocked away by King. 3 minutes gone in the first period so far. King now in for Boston. King goes far side and it scores! Esmond Fatal. The Boston Yachts goal scorer tonight. Jackson King looking to put it on net. It goes wide right to the stick of Fatal. So Belotis, this is the first goal he has given up this season. His second appearance, he came in relief of Daniil Scotts. Started the game against New York, ended up with a shutout. So the first goal he has given up comes to Esben Fatal. So Boston at home gets an early lead. A little over 3 minutes gone here in the first. Now we're approaching the 16-minute mark. Thibault into the slot and it's sticked away by Abedisiani. Svensson now, the defenseman, scores! Goodman Svensson with a good opportunity in front, and he buries it past Ronnie Abedisiani. Set up by Ostergaard and Thibault. Christensen over to Spatal. Ostergaard to Marshall. Marshall will dump it in. Arvidsson back behind the net, back in front, and it goes wide. Spatal. O'Shea now away. Gets it away from the bench area to Christensen. On the near boards, Thibault away with it. Thibault across the line. Thibault almost loses it. Now tries to cut in. Gets into the high slot and loses the puck. Christensen now will stay wide. Will decide to just dump it in. Thibault, first one on it for Toronto. Up to Cousins. Brent Cousins to Lane Allard. Over to Goodman Svensson, the goal scorer for Toronto in the early going. Down low. Cousins now with it. Cuts into the slot. Stick save by Abedisiani. Tsov will now have it. Pressed to the boards by Vinogradov and Jordan. Vinogradov and Jordan still there. Jordan and Vinogradov both pull it away. They'll get it up to Cherry. Cherry will retreat, get it over to Antonison and come up the far side. It'll be Adolfsson to Cherry. Cherry knocked away. Tries to get it in front, and Medved reads that well. Allard up to Costa. Costa will dump it deep. And we'll hit the netting to get us a stoppage here with 12:27 left here in the first period. We're going to come back outside the zone. Have a face-off right there. Looks like it is Abraham against Medved. Johansson for Toronto will come free. Long steps in. Stick knocked away. Johansson. Alexanderson shot. Goes just wide. Bedisiani got a pad on that. And then it just bounced wide of the goal mouth. Tipton now in. Abraham all alone. Tries to go to the backhand and is stopped by Belotis, and he will cover it there. So Zigmars Belotis Good stop there in the early going. After he gave up the first goal of his career. Kawaguchi now against Abraham. And Kawaguchi able to win it away to Johansson. Olsen now up the near boards. Gets it taken away. Oh, and plastered there is Vlatko Petric. Peter Alexanderson up to Kawaguchi. Over to Johansson. Now Jeremiah. Jeremiah will get to the red line and dump it in. First one there is Joubert. Joubert stick to side. Sticks with it, gets it over to Anderson. Anderson across the red line, bodied there. Johansson up with it. He'll go cross ice to Olsen. Olsen to the red line, now gets it to Kawaguchi as he enters the zone. Kawaguchi knocked down by Joubert. Jeremiah now up. Down to Kawaguchi. Shot, and Jeremiah is stopped by Abedisiani. Abedisiani getting his first ever start here for the Boston Yachts. Tested with a few shots early. He has let one through. Goodman Svensson able to get one by him. Ostergaard to Marshall. Marshall to Johansson. Alexanderson now back. Johansson to Ostergaard. Ostergaard blocker saved by Abedisiani. Marshall down front. Ostergaard goes wide. Marshall blocked off from the slot. Jackson King will take it away. He'll get it up to Calvin Anderson. To Speedy Anderson. Loses it. Tries to get it over to the right, or excuse me, the right wing. And Ostergaard picked it off. Joubert, first one down there. He's met by Marshall. Joubert and Marshall will fight for it there. Arvidsson now in the fight. Joubert comes free to Kolar. Kolar up to Anderson and King. King bodied there by Peter Alexanderson. Anderson now steps into the slot. Knocked down by Belotis. Good pad stop, and he will hold it there. Fetisov and Shvital will take the face-off. Johansson now. Almost loses it to Belotis. Fetisov. Baklov behind his own net. Love will come free to Christensen. Christensen gets it deflected, and then Braun blows up the Toronto Royal there. I think that's Allard. Slow getting up. Tall loses it to Johansson. To Cousins. Cousins now skating up the ice. Cousins putting in shot. Stopped by Abedisiani. Shvital back to the face-off dot against Fetisov. And then Boston, O'Shea will scoop in to get it. O'Shea gets to the red line and gets it deep. Alexanderson first one on it. Centers it to Fetisov. Fetisov lost it for a second, but now it's on the stick of Johansson. Johansson will flip it in. Bo Gron for Boston. First one to it. Gron kicks it up the boards. Nick O'Shea. O'Shea loses it. Waylon Cherry, the first one on it for Boston. Christensen at center ice. Fetisov now. Cutting wide. Stick check by Baklov. Jeremiah now with it. He goes to Fetisov in the slot. Jeremiah scores! CC Jeremiah. Set up by Alexanderson and Fetisov. So Toronto here on the road takes a 2-1 lead on the stick of CC Jeremiah. Kawaguchi on the face-off. Loses it. Jeremiah now up with it for Toronto. Jeremiah cross ice to Olsen. Kawaguchi now skating in. Kawaguchi staying wide. Stops. Tries to get a shot on goal, and I believe, Vinogradov unable to get in the way. Olsen keeps it in. Jeremiah down low. Kawaguchi the first one to it in the corner. Kawaguchi up to Jeremiah. Jeremiah back down low to Kawaguchi. He's blocked off the puck. Jeremiah with it. He'll go cross ice to Olsen. Olsen gets it back to the point. Kawaguchi has it. It'll be down to Jeremiah. Alexanderson, Johansson. Cuts in. Kawaguchi. Alexanderson, Jeremiah. Stop there. Good pressure so far here by the Royals. Kawaguchi gets it blocked away. Jeremiah now in the corner. Vinogradov picks it up, and Cherry will skate out of the zone for Boston. Brandon Jordan with it. He gets it poked away. It'll be Olsen on it. Johansson. Under 3 minutes left here in this first period. Gets it to Medved. Medved poked off. Petrick able to swoop in to get it for Boston. He'll come out of the zone to Johansson. Alexanderson now will turn, but into the zone. He loses it. So Kolar ends up with it. We get it up to Tipton. Tipton bodied there to the boards. Joe Kolar, the defenseman, swooping in. Loses it to Johansson. Alexanderson now. With it to Medved. Medved staying wide. Will stop. Lose the puck there. First one on is Svensson. First goal score for Toronto tonight. Medved blocked in front. Abraham to Tipton. Tipton will circle back. Gets it ahead to Petrick. Petrick loses it to Svensson. Under a minute now left here in the first. Penalty coming up on the Yachts. Walter Arvidsson loses it and Petrick will touch up. And that'll be the first power play of the evening for the Toronto Royals as Walter Petrick, the one guilty of tripping there. Toronto, kind of middle of the pack right now. They're at they're at 25%, 2 of 8 on the power play so far. The Boston Yachts at 50% on the kill, 3 of 6 so far on the young season. So we'll see. It looks like it's the second unit out there as Costa takes the face off for Toronto. Second unit out there for the Royals. With just 35 seconds left here in the first period. Johansson back behind the net. Marshall up. Gets it over to Ostergaard. Dan Ostergaard stops. Knocked away. Ostergaard still with it. Costa. Glove save by Vedesiani. He'll get it out to Joubert. Joubert, and then now flipped out by Boston. 15 seconds left in the period. Under a minute and a half left on the power play. Svensson over to Johansson, up to Costa. Costa will get the red line and continue to carry. Continues. Sticked away by Backlog. And first one on is Christensen for Boston. He flips it out, and that is going to end the first period of action here from Boston Municipal Arena. So Boston, the early goal. Someone finally beating Zigmar's Belotis. Because it was Esvin Shvatal. And then 2 goals by Svensson and then CC Jeremiah. Only 4 shots on goal so far for the Boston Yachts. But it is a 2-1 lead for Toronto here on the road. They will enter the second period with a power play. We'll be right back after a quick intermission. All right, folks, a quick break, and we are right back to Boston Municipal Arena. Boston Yachts host the Toronto Royals. They're in Boston, Massachusetts. The Toronto Royals have a power play going here for another minute and 15 seconds, I believe. They have that first unit now out there. Good clear from Brandon Jordan of Boston. The bow back for it for Toronto. He'll get it up to Olsen. Olsen up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson carries in, loses the puck. And Sasha Backlog, first one there on it. Kawaguchi gets it away. Arvidsson down low, can't get it past Vedesiani. And it will be flipped out by the Boston defender. Fabo with it. Stretch pass to Jeremiah. Jeremiah stops. Back to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi to Thibault. And a good stop by Vedesiani as he will flip it out. Should be about 10 seconds. I know it's not popping up on the score bug down below, but it should just be about 10 more seconds now here on the power play for Toronto. Here's Kawaguchi across the line. He loses the puck. Adolfson. And yes, Boston now on the rush. Petrick out of the penalty box. Petrick down low, and it's blocked away. The bow pressed to the board by Petrick. CC Jeremiah will come out with it. Up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson tries to get it across. Can't get it through. And Tonison with it now. Arvidsson still down. Now he just gets back to his skates. Olsen to Kawaguchi. Up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson staying wide. Kawaguchi in the slot. Shot. Knocked away twice by Vedesiani. Gives up the rebound, and Kawaguchi unable to get it past him on the rebound as well. Johansson now back behind the play. 17 minutes left here in the second period. Sticked away. Shvatal, the goal scorer for Boston. Gets it to Vinogradov, and he loses it. Johannes Johansson. Up to Arvidsson to Fetisov. O'Shea picks it off. It'll be Christensen now. He'll get the red line and dump in. Alexanderson now with it. Get it over to Fetisov. Demyan Fetisov gets this puck poked away. Johansson able to pick it up for Toronto. Press to the boards there. O'Shea for Boston will circle, allow his teammates to go off for a change. He'll move it over to Antonison, up to Shvital. Shvital pressed to the boards there by Arvidsson. Arvidsson now comes free with it. Walter Arvidsson staying wide, tries to cut in. Big Olav Antonison knocks him down. And it'll be Allard behind the net. He's bodied by Antonison. Allard sticks with it, bodied again by Antonison. Jackson King now comes free with it. Calvin Anderson up to Antonison. The big Swede coming in. Anderson shot. They score! It is Jackson King. Set up by Antonison and Anderson there. Calvin Anderson with the primary assist, setting up Jackson King to make it a 2-2 game. That weak side just unable to cover. We have a tie game. Almost 6 minutes gone here in the second period. Anderson now back up to Backlov. Braun. Now Anderson in the slot. Stevens down low. King off the side of the goal. King down low. Blocked off. Belotus will hold it there for a whistle. Danny Abraham will take the face-off against Vadir Medved. And Medved able to win it back to Alexanderson. Alexanderson up to Johansson. And Darren Long on the near boards. Will retreat. Now get it up to the red line is Medved. Joubert, first one on it for Boston. Petrick behind his own net. Will come free. Skate to the boards. Circles back. Is it to Kolar? Over to Tipton. Barry Tipton sticked away. Medved now with it at the benches. It'll be Abraham picking up the loose puck. First one on it there in the Boston zone is Joubert. Abraham to Tipton. Tipton will circle into the corner behind his own net. Tipton up to Petrick. Petrick bodied there. Medved now for Toronto will come to the near boards. Trying to get away and it's sticked away. Battle forward along by the penalty boxes there. And Alexanderson comes free with it. Going to be a penalty on Danny Abraham for Boston as he trips up Alexanderson. Long in front. Knocked aside. And touched up there. So a trip going to come to Danny Abraham. Just an easy trip right there to Peter Alexanderson. And he's got a long way to fall. The 6'7" defenseman. 6'6", whatever. All right. First face-off. Kawaguchi wins it away. He gets it wide to Jeremiah. Cuts in. Knocked down by Abedisiani, and he will hold. So a face-off to the right of Abedisiani. Won by Boston. Backlov knocked down there. Marshall tries to get it in front, and it is gloved down by Abedisiani, and he will hold right there. Nearing the halfway mark of the second period here. Boston leading in hits, 16-14 on Toronto right now. Toronto on the power play, 1:50 left. Kawaguchi against Cherry. And Cherry able to win it back to Backlog. Kawaguchi able to keep it in. He's pinned to the wall there by Cherry. Still there. Puck just comes out of the blue line outside the zone. Joubert now will flip it all the way down for the Yachts. Olsen up to Jeremiah, to Arvidsson, cutting up the near boards. To Jeremiah, Kawaguchi scores! Victor Kawaguchi. Set up by Jeremiah and Arvidsson again on the power play. The captain of the Royals nets one past Ronnie Abedisiani. And Tonison now away with it after the Boston face-off win. So now they trail 3-2 Boston. They got it right back to even. And now they find themselves back down a goal. Kawaguchi will flip it in. And Tonison, the first one there for Boston. He'll get it away to Adolfsson. Adolfsson to the red line and will dump in. Alexanderson over to Johansson. Johansson loses it. Jordan Cherry. Oh, and it just goes wide. Adolfsson in front. Shot. Blockered away. Lotus able to get a piece of that one. Another good opportunity for Boston in the front. Olsen presses Jordan to the board. Antonison loses it to Cherry. And Nolan Cherry buries one low glove past Ziggy Belotis. Nolan Cherry set up by Olav Antonison and Brandon Jordan. So a good forward battle. Brandon Jordan able to get it free. Antonison sets up Cherry. They had too many opportunities there in that low slot. Did Toronto give up? And finally one is able to beat Belotis. So Brent Cousins will come free with it. He has Allard cutting to the middle, and it's blocked away. Abedisiani will get to it and hold it there. 8:25 left here in the second period. Anderson against Fetisov in the circle. And Anderson gets it away to Stevens. Vinogradov now for Boston. Come up. Past center ice now. Vinogradov to Anderson. King shot, and it's blocked away by Belotis. Stevens up to King. King down low back to Stevens. Anderson can't quite get a shot away, and then it goes wide. King bodied there by Alexanderson. Johansson able to swoop in to pick it up. They kick it to the corner for Alexanderson. Two defensemen playing well with one another. Alexanderson, though, loses it there. Jackson King picks it up. He's had a good game tonight. Shvatal. Cross ice to Vinogradov to Christensen. Christensen tries to get it deep and can't quite. Alexanderson on it for Toronto. Allard now up to Fetisov. Fetisov staying wide. Gets to the corner. Allard. Oh, and it gets behind Abedisiani, but he gets a glove on it to keep it out of the net. Looked like Allard had Cousins on the weak side. If he could have just slid it across, Cousins would have had a wide open net. But Allard takes the shot and is stopped by Abedisiani. Let's see. Fatal able to win it away as Christensen swoops in off the wing to get it. Vinogradov now up to O'Shea. Boston coming across the red line. Dumps it in. It'll be Kawaguchi on it first for Toronto. Jeremiah turns back. It'll be up to Johansson. Johansson to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi off the boards to Olsen. Olsen staying wide, loses it to Antonison. Leaf Olsen pressed to the boards by O'Shea. CC Jeremiah, the first one in there. Johansson, Alexanderson over to Jeremiah. Johansson at the point. Kawaguchi in the slot. Oh, and it just goes wide. A good save by Abedisiani. I think he got a blocker on it. It'll be in the corner. Olsen to the slot. Oh, and a glove stop. A sprawling save there on Kawaguchi. As Olsen was able to step towards the middle, sets up Kawaguchi, and it's good glove stop by Ronnie Abedisiani. So now Marshall will take the face-off. Is that Abraham? I believe it is. Abraham, yep, for Boston. Now across the blue line, he'll stop. Tipton in. Oh, and it gets knocked away. Like the Yachts had an opportunity there. Approaching 4 minutes left here in the second period. Walter Arvidsson wide, sticked away by Backlov and then shouldered. Dietrich gets bodied there. Arvidsson comes in to swoop in after the hit by Johansson. It'll be Cade Marshall now. Marshall across the line, knocked away. Bogran loses it to Petrick. Cade Marshall now in with it. They'll lose it. Petrovic. Marshall with an opportunity. Pad save. Kicking out that right pad was Ronnie Abedisiani. And one stepping in here is Vlatko Petrick. Oh, and it gets knocked away. Abraham with a chance. He loses it. Cade Marshall now out with it. Marshall pressed to the boards by Bogran. Petrick. That's going to be a penalty on Toronto. A trip there, I believe, on Allard. Jordan still with it in his own zone. They're looking to get it out. And get Abedisiani. He is there. He's headed to the bench, and that will touch it up. Allard on it there, so a power play coming. Yep, Lane Allard. I love the time to retire Allard. He's played, this is his third career game. I don't think it's time for him to retire at that point. But fans will be fans, right? Fetisov will glide into the faceoff dot against Calvin Anderson. Calvin Anderson wins it away. Vinogradov, cross ice Stevens. Anderson down low to the point to Christensen. Back over to Stevens on the far boards. Anderson in the corner to Vinogradov. Christensen at the point. King. Vinogradov. A lot of passing right now. They need to get something on net. Stevens finally does, and it's knocked away by Belotis. Anderson sends it back behind the net to the opposite corner. Vinogradov. Oh, and a glove stop by Belotis as he's able to weed through the traffic in front of him and get it with the glove. 70 seconds left here in the second period. In the minute 30, so unless Boston is able to score in the next minute 10, they will have just about 21 seconds of carryover time into the third period with their power play. Cousins able to get it out as we hit a minute left here in the second. Isaac Christensen up to Shvatal. Shvatal cutting in. Stopped by Belotis right into the chest plate. Chest protector of Belotis, and he'll hold it there. Fetisov again against Anderson. And it is picked up by Sigurdsson. Alexander Sigurdsson. Sends Anderson back to get it. Schubert with it. Flips it cross ice to Jordan. Now Anderson. Stevens with speed. Anderson into the slot. Slap shot. Gets blocked by his own teammate. Stevens knocked it down. Oh, and then Stevens gets a piece of it. Gets it on Belotis and he makes the save. Oh, and now a penalty coming to Boston. A slash on King there in the slot area as they were fighting for the puck. Probably just got to stick up a little higher than it needed to be. He's obviously not thrilled with the call, but we'll take a look at it here on the replay. And it just gets it up a little. So we will be 4-on-4 for the rest of the period here, as we only have 18 seconds left. We will have that 4-on-4 will carry over into the third period as well, and then Toronto will get an abbreviated power play. Stevens with 5 seconds left. Cuts in. Anderson with a chance, and it's poke check by Belotis, and he will hold on with 2 seconds left. So Anderson has a chance. He had it on his forehand, tried to deke and go to the backhand, and Belotis able to get a stick in to make this poke check and hold the puck there. 1.9 Svensson away to Ostergaard, and that will do it for the second period of play here. So we will enter the third period with a tie, all-square game at 3 apiece. Toronto with multiple, with a 2-1 lead and a 3-2 lead, both given up. Boston able to come back. Boston did get the first goal of the game. We've had a pretty tightly contested match so far. We will see if that continues going into the third period. We'll be right back with you after a quick break. Alrighty, folks, welcome back for an exciting third period here at Boston Municipal Arena. The Boston Yachts and the Toronto Royals find themselves knotted up at 3. We have 4-on-4 play. Oh, and Toronto is going to be able to go now on a 4-on-3 penalty, which means they will have time of a 5-on-3. Calvin Anderson, the captain of the Yachts, sent to the box with his line mate Jackson King in there. He trips up Svensson right there in the middle. So a 4-on-3 here for a little bit, and then it will actually grow to a 5-on-3. The bow in front, glove save by Bedesiani. Kawaguchi ready to take the draw against Adolfsson. Kawaguchi won the last draw. He's able to win this one back. It's Olsen. Cross ice to Jeremiah. Now a 5-on-3 for the Royals. Olsen, first one to it in the corner. Olsen tries to get it out in back lob with a good stick. Knocks it out of there. So a minute 10 of 5-on-3 action. Arvidsson up with it. They'll get it up to Olsen. Olsen across the line. Kawaguchi in. Kawaguchi stops. Oh, and it just goes wide. Trying to hit the trailer. Arvidsson, glove stop by Bedesiani. Toronto coming with good pressure here on the 5-on-3 so far. Costa now will take the face-off as it looks like the second unit out there for Toronto. Jordan wins it back, and Beaugrand will get it free. 45 seconds left here on the 5-on-3. Thibault up to Ostergaard. Ostergaard over to Marshall. Marshall to Costa. Costa loses it. Marshall. Oh, and a good glove stop by Bedesiani. Another good stop by the goaltender. Bertisiani has looked pretty good so far tonight. Still a lot of hockey left. We're just a minute in to the third period here, but he has looked good to this point. Kawaguchi now out there. He wins the draw. The bow to Kawaguchi. Arvidsson in the slot gets sticked away, and that's another penalty. Oh my goodness, the Yachts shooting themselves in the foots. It's Olav Antonisson. We got a full box there. Three fellas shoulder to shoulder. King, Anderson, and Antonisson. As he slashes Arvidsson right there in the low slot. So 5-on-3 continues here. Joubert will flip it out. And it'll be Olsen, the first one on it. Olsen out with it to Marshall. Marshall to Ostergaard. Ostergaard loses it to Joubert and it gets out. The bow up to Marshall. Marshall across to Ostergaard. Van Ostergaard tries to cut in. Gets it low to Costa. Now high. Olsen over to Marshall. Marshall down low. Ostergaard stopped Costa. Oh, tries to go far post and Bertisiani gets it with an elbow. So we're approaching 2 minutes gone here in the third period. Still tied 3-3. Toronto still on the 5-on-3 just for 21 more seconds. Kawaguchi wins the draw back with the bow. Arvidsson, tries to get it down low to Kawaguchi and it's picked up by Gron. And Gron will flip it out. 10 seconds left here on the 5-on-3. So Olsen comes up with it to Kawaguchi. Over to Arvidsson. Arvidsson across the line. Arvidsson loses it. And then Jordan's the first one on it there. Vinogradov. Poke down low to Jeremiah. Arvidsson in front and he scores! Walter Arvidsson. Good pressure by CC Jeremiah. He gets it out in front to Walter Arvidsson and he puts it away for the power play marker. And the timing of that will get us all square. So now we have 5-on-5 even strength action as Toronto takes the 4-3 lead. 17.5 minutes left here in the third period. Gron loses it to Kawaguchi. Swital comes up to the blue line. It's sticked aside by Kawaguchi. He gets it out to Alexanderson, up to Johansson. Back to Kawaguchi. Olsen now. Olsen looking to cut in. He goes to the corner. Goes back behind. It's Jeremiah. Out to Kawaguchi. Out front to Johansson. Kawaguchi in the slot. And a glove stopped by Bertisiani. Marshall against Swital. It comes to Ostergaard. Now Johansson at the point. Ostergaard in the high slot. And it's shouldered aside by Bertisiani. Sasha Backlog back behind the play to get it. And it'll be Christensen. Coming up to O'Shea. Nick O'Shea will flip it in. First one on it is Alexanderson. Alexanderson tries to kick it out right to Shea. Alexanderson again back out to Shea. Shea blocked there by Marshall. Shea comes free. O'Shea, tries to get a shot off and he's bodied there by Johansson. Alexanderson, with it. Up to Marshall. Up ice to Arvidsson. Arvidsson staying wide, goes to the corner in front. Shot, and it goes through! It gets through a Bertisiani. It is Cade Marshall to make it a 5-3 game here in Boston. Set up by Arvidsson and Alexanderson. So a great game so far from Walter Arvidsson. Johansson behind the play to Ostergaard. Ostergaard loses it. Johansson will come back behind the play to Marshall. Arvidsson now again with a good game so far. Still 14 minutes left. A lot of time for Boston to get 2 more. But you got to probably get the next one. Anderson tries the center and Marshall picks it off. Ostergaard comes at the near boards and it's sticked away. Gron now with it. Gron floating in across the blue line. Tries to get it through and Marshall picks it off. Alexanderson with it. Anderson. A lot of sticks in the lane there and it gets poked away and Marshall for Toronto will come away. Ostergaard, tries to get it down low. Marshall now pressed to the boards there by Stevens. And Antonisson out with it to Jordan. Jordan will get it and flip it in. This one there is Johansson. He's pressed to the boards by Anderson. Anderson now in front. Jordan tries to go far side and Belotis kicks it out. Alexanderson pressed to the boards there. Jordan in the offensive zone. Anderson met there by Johansson. Anderson still has it. Anderson will kick it out to the corner. Adolfsson. Fetisov away with it. And another penalty on the Yachts. Oh, fans very frustrated right now with this third period. Ingolf Adolfsson heads to the box. Right there in the corner, just slashes T-Saw. So I believe, yep, we're right under the 12-minute mark. Toronto with an opportunity to make it a 3-goal game. Kawaguchi to Olsen, Thibault in the slot, gets it knocked away. Jeremiah on it. Sasha Backlov will get it there and flip it out, because it is Anna Thibault on it. And another penalty. Oh, is this going to be on? An elbow on the hit there from Vlatko Petric. So another 5-on-3 for Toronto. Oof, yep, he gets that elbow up. 5-on-3, and it'll be their top unit. Kawaguchi, Arvidsson. Olsen over to Arvidsson. Back up top to Thibault. Down low to Arvidsson. Kawaguchi tries to get it on net and can't get it through. Tipton will have it. He'll get it up to Backlov. Oh, and there is going to be a trip called on Toronto here. Yep, there's the touch-up. Trip called there. I thought I saw somebody go down. It is Arvidsson, the young man who gave them the go-ahead goal here in the third. We'll head to the box, so we'll have a 4-on-3. Just right in the middle there, tripping Tipton. Kawaguchi and King will swoop in, ready to do battle. King wins it away. Vinogradov to Kolar. King. Thibault will take it away. So 4-on-3 here for Toronto. Jeremiah now with it. Jeremiah to Kawaguchi. He loses it. King with first one on it, and he will flip it down for Boston. First one on it is Thibault. Thibault to Kawaguchi. Kicked away to Thibault. Now Jeremiah. Jeremiah, Kawaguchi. Cuts in. Shot, and it's pinned by Abedisiani. You will keep play going, and King will get it out. Under a minute left on the 4-on-3 for Toronto. Thibault with the... Now over to Olsen. Olsen gets it poked away for a sec. Olsen in. Stopped by Abedisiani. Olsen now down behind the play. Loses it. Thibault will come free. Or excuse me, Kawaguchi with it. That was Thibault, my fault. Jeremiah now. Thibault loses it to King. 20 seconds left here on the 4-on-3. Thibault bodies King there. Jeremiah away with it to Medved. We're about to have 4-on-4 action here. Kolar fighting there. Now Jeremiah. Kolar gets it away to Adolfsson, to Vinogradov. And now we have a power play for Boston just for a little bit. Vinogradov skates in. Petric, oh, and it's just blocked away by Belotis. And that's going to be a penalty on Toronto. So now a 5-on-3. Cade Marshall, the other goal scorer here in the third period. So interference is what the call is going to be against Cade Marshall. So a 5-on-3 for just 6 seconds. And then following that, a minute and 54 of 5-on-4 advantage. Jordan up top, blocked away. Not sure if Belotis got a piece of that or if he even got to him. So now 5-on-4 for Boston. It'll be flipped out by Bowman. 9 minutes left here to go in the third period. O'Shea stick to side. O'Shea cutting in. Cherry down low. Spatal can't get it through Belotis. Ball off the boards up to Jordan. Cherry down low. Knocked aside. Allard fights for it there. Johansson will have it. He will get it up and out. Minute 20 left here on the power play. Under 9 minutes to go in the third period. Shea over to Spatal. Tall, Cherry. Now Joubert with room. O'Shea and a glove stop by Belotis. Zigmar Belotis will stop play right there. Adolfsson will take the face off. And he loses it to Medved. So Toronto will flip it out. Under a minute now on the power play. Joubert. Long stretch past the King, and it's picked off. There. Joubert right back on it. Anderson behind the play. Gets it over cross ice to King. King comes up the far boards to the red line, now enters his own, and is knocked off the stick by Medved, and he will clear it out. 30 seconds left here on the power play. The home-standing Boston Yachts down 5-3, bodied there. Oh, and another shot there. I believe that's Medved at center ice with a couple of hits. 15 seconds left here on the power play. Anderson over to King. King will step in. King cutting wide, gets it down low to Stevens, and it gets knocked away from the goaltender. Stevens now up high to Jordan. Joubert. Oh, and it's tipped, and it goes high up over the net, and the net is off its moorings. So we will have a stoppage in play there with 7:37 left here in the third period. Toronto still on the penalty kill, and they win that. Johansson will get it out, and that is it for the penalty. Marshall loses the puck there at center ice, but then regains it. He's tripped. Nick O'Shea tripped up Cade Marshall, and he will head to the box. So Boston down 2 really needs this kill to have any chance of getting a comeback here at home. O'Shea getting the stick in, trips him down. Kawaguchi skating in against Adolfson. And Kawaguchi wins it. Arvidsson steps in. It's kind of blocked off. It still gets to Abedisiani, but not with a ton of power. Cleared away by Boston. 7 minutes here. Means we'll be about at the 5-minute mark by the time this penalty and power play is over if they're able to kill it off. Jordan will get it and flip it out. So you will need about 2 goals in 5 minutes. I mean, we've seen crazier things. We saw the Calgary game the other night. Kawaguchi with a chance in front, and it's knocked away. Kawaguchi now with it behind his own net. Tries to get it out in front. Bad pass, and Backlov will pick it off. We saw Calgary down 1. Score a goal with 16 seconds left and 2 seconds left to knock off Detroit at home. So crazier things have happened. You just kind of have to believe and stay within your game. 6:16 left here in the third period. The thing you cannot do is give up a goal here. That would make it a 3-goal game. That one feels pretty insurmountable with 6 minutes left. Costa ready to take the face-off against Anderson. Costa wins it free to Johansson. Marshall to Ostergaard. Oh, and a good shot by Costa, and it's knocked away by Abedisiani and then flipped out by Boston. 45 seconds left here on the power play, and just 6 minutes remaining in the game. Ostergaard staying wide. Bodied to the boards. Cade Marshall, first one on it for Toronto. He tries to get out in front, and Bo Gron picks it off. And he will flip it down. So not much happening for Toronto with this second unit. They had the Costa chance, but Abedisiani sniffed out. Marshall now up the boards. Net there, and Gron try to kick it back up the boards. Marshall trying to come away with it. It's out in front, and Gron gets it away. And that is going to kill off the penalty there, 2-1. And so now with 5:10 left, the Royals with a 2-goal lead, looking to hold on to it against the Yachts here. And Tonison will cut in, loses it. Back up to Olsen. Olsen will flip it in. Vinogradov behind the net. Tries to kick it out, and will come to Antonison. Antonison loses it to O'Shea. Now Christensen for Boston. He will be turned around. Kawaguchi tries to flip it in, and Vinogradov ends up with it. O'Shea now with it. Spatal, cross ice, O'Shea, knocked down in front. And Belotis will hold on to it right there. So 3:39. Approaching the 6-on-5 opportunity for Boston. If they can keep it a 2-goal game or even make it a 1-goal game. Svensson now. Kawaguchi will have it. Kawaguchi sprints up, stops, keeps going, and now we'll flip it in. First one on it will be Backlov. Backlov tries to kick it free, gets it to Christensen. 3 minutes now to go here in the third. Spatal tries to get it deep. It comes right back to him. Now O'Shea in front, and goes wide. Olsen, the first one on it for Toronto. He'll get it up to Kawaguchi. He'll go to the benches there. Stop, turn, and get it up to Olsen. Leaf Olsen stick to side, and Bo Gron, the Swedish defenseman, picks it up. Gron met there by Marshall. Spatal up to Stevens. Stevens knocked away. It'll be Alexanderson. Up to Arvidsson. Arvidsson with under 2 minutes to go. Getting into dangerous territory for Boston. Anderson comes away with it. Anderson all the way up to Stevens. He's belted to the boards. It'll be Alexanderson in the corner. Kicks it out, and that'll be offsides. So minute 19 left here. Toronto with the 5-3 lead. Late. And we'll have Fetisov going up against Anderson here. King with it. Knocks it. It's back into the Boston zone. Kolar. And now that'll be an empty net. So there it is. King gets it across the line. Allard. Across to Johansson. Johansson will hold. Johansson loses it. Tipped in. Cross ice. Kolar steps in. Joubert. Now Kolar. Shot goes wide. Joubert has to come out of the zone to get it. So Joubert to King. King will flip it in. And Johansson, the first one on it for Toronto. Johansson tries to skate free. Picked off by Tipton. King loses it in the slot. Cousins will get the red line. Can't quite get it on net for a shot as he is squeezed off by 3 Yachts there. Joubert with 25 seconds left. Up to Tipton. Over to Adolfsson. Adolfsson loses it. Allard now with it. Lane Allard just flips it in. It'll be Anderson with it behind the net. Backlov tries to come free. It'll be Anderson up to Jordan with 10 seconds remaining. Adolfsson loses it to Cousins. Adolfsson in front. Oh, tries the centering pass and it goes right through the crease. And that will do it for us here in Boston as the Toronto Royals come into Boston. They make their little East Coast swing of New York and Boston and end up with 2 wins. So now find themselves just 3 points behind the Montreal Mammoths. And Boston, in that tightly packed American division, falls behind Detroit, Minnesota, and New York, who all sit at 1-1. So a great game. Good finish here with 2 goals in the third period. Arvidsson with the game winner, and then Marshall with the insurance marker to salt it away for Toronto as the Royals come into Boston with a 5-3 win. We will have post-game coverage after a quick break right here, folks. All right, folks, welcome back for post-game coverage of our one and only game tonight as the Toronto Royals go into Boston, come away with a 5-3 victory over the Yachts at Boston Municipal Arena. We'll take a look at the team stats here. Toronto with the heavy advantage in total shots, taking 39 to just Boston's 22. Tough to win a game when you're only getting 22 shots on net. Toronto then 31 hits, Boston also with 31. Toronto winning the most faceoffs. And then the penalties. Boston 8, gave up 8 power plays to the Royals. Now some of them overlapped. We had 5-on-3s. We had some kind of odd situations of 4-on-4s going to, 4-on-3s going to 4-on-4s going to power plays for the other two. It was a little crazy with the power plays there. But Boston unable to capitalize on their power play, going 0 of 3. Disappointing for sure for the Yachts. So let's take a look at our individual stats. We will start again with the victorious team tonight, the Toronto Royals. You see CC Jeremiah there with 3 points and Walter Arvidsson, those same stat lines of 1 goal, 2 assists for each of them. Arvidsson with a +2 tonight, Jeremiah with a -1 on 5 shots. Alexanderson 2 assists, Kawaguchi with a goal, DeBow an assist, Marshall with a goal, Fetisov and Ostergaard with assists, and then Goodman Svensson with a goal, the first goal of the night for the Toronto Royals. Ostergaard there with an assist as well. Olsen, you're looking for a little more offense out of him, but it feels like he's that third wheel with Jeremiah and Kawaguchi right now. They're setting each other up well, and Olsen, maybe he's the defensive stalwart on that line. I don't know, but he seems to be gelling, but you'd like to see a little more offense from him. Johansson, I believe that sets a record for ice time minutes with 43 minutes and 49 seconds. That's utterly incredible. To me, that means that decor means Svensson only getting 9 minutes, DeBow 15, but that's a lot of that, I'm sure, is power play stuff. Sigurdsson a minute, and Bowman at just under 2 minutes. So that decor relying heavy on Johansson and Alexanderson to do well. And that is, let's see, our hits, Alexanderson with 10 and Johansson with 9. So, I mean, they're punishing while they're in there, and they're causing the other team to feel probably more tired than they are. But great endurance from those two young men there. So now that is it for our skaters. We'll head to our goalies. Ziggy Belotis, not the greatest start he's had, obviously, with the shutout in his last game. 22 shots against and just 19 saves leads him to an .864, giving up 3 goals. But at the end of the day, it is another win for the Latvian goaltender. And it feels like at this point he's probably taken the net from Daniil Scotts. He will get more opportunities, obviously, as the year goes on, especially Toronto playing a back-to-back. They're headed back home to face Chicago tomorrow. It will probably be Daniil Scotts in net for the Royals. That does it for Toronto. Now we head to Boston. Jackson King with a great game, a goal and an assist. Olav Antonesson, a bit of a surprising point getter tonight. 2 assists tonight, helping his team out. Calvin Anderson comes up with another assist. Nolan Cherry and Evzen Shvital with goals as well. Brandon Jordan there with an assist. And it wasn't enough offense from kind of that top group. Stevens you don't see in there. Jackson, but I guess King and Anderson, so I take that back. I guess you look at maybe a little more depth. 3 goals may or may not be enough to, in this league so far this year, 3 goals is not enough to win you a game. We've shown it needs to be at least 5. And so 3 goals, you need more out of Stevens. Probably need something out of Joubert. He's a little more of an offensively gifted defenseman. Ultimately, you need more out of your power play. Nick O'Shea unable to get one tonight. And yeah, it feels like Boston right now is very reliant on that top line of King, Anderson, and Stevens. And if they aren't on or aren't able to get a lot or going up against a tough matchup, it's tough sledding for the Yachts offensively. Shvital and Cherry, those two, your second and third line center, that's big for them to be able to get some goals in tonight. You'd like a little more support from their wings as well, maybe potting one as well, or even one of your defensemen in Backlov or Joubert or even Braun being able to get one or even get some assists there. So that is let me just go down and make sure I saw everything. Abraham, Petrick, Tipton, hits, Joubert, Petrick, 4 and 3 respectively, and then 9 for Olav Antonesson. So a really good game out of the Swedish defender. And then Ronnie Abedisiani with his first start. Not bad, but it still is going to end up in a loss, which unfortunately has happened too often for the Yachts so far this season. Mediocre goaltending leading to 5 goals tonight, 39 shots against, 34 saves for an .872 save percentage. Not the worst I've seen this year, but not enough to win you the game tonight. So that is our goalie stats for Boston. We will now take you to the goals scored tonight. So we see first goal came Evzen Shvital. That's an easy one for me to say. I think I've stuttered on it about 4 times tonight. And then Goodman Svensson and CC Jeremiah for Toronto fire back to give them a 2-1 lead. 5 minutes into the second, Jackson King able to come up with one to tie it. Just 4 minutes later, Victor Kawaguchi able to get one, I believe, on the power play from Jeremiah and Arvidsson, giving them the 3-2 lead. And then Cherry, less than 2 minutes later, able to get another one to tie it back up. We went into the third tied at 3, and it was Arvidsson and Marshall putting the distance between them and the Yachts to give the Toronto Royals a 5-3 win here in Boston. So folks, that does it for us tonight, but we want to make sure to tell you about an exciting night coming up tomorrow night. We have all 10 teams in action tomorrow night, 5 games. We will start with Calgary in Ottawa, Edmonton at Montreal, Detroit at Minnesota, Boston at New York, and Chicago at Toronto. So all 10 teams in action tomorrow night, 5 games. We will have coverage for every single game that evening. Some of them kind of overlap, but we will try our best to make sure we have coverage for all 5 of those games going on. So again, that is Calgary headed to Ottawa, Edmonton headed to Montreal, Detroit at Minnesota, Boston at New York, and then Chicago at Toronto for all 5 games tomorrow night. So thanks for joining us. Hope you join us tomorrow for the 5-game slate that we have. If it's a triple header when it's 3, what's it with 5? Quintuple header? Yeah, a quintuple header tomorrow night. So thanks again for joining us from Boston. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks.